Right. Good afternoon, everybody. So I've decided to continue on just editing a video I was working on yesterday, and this is also just a little experiment I'm working on with the OBS software studio. Yeah, the main reason I'm just using OBS for live stream is mainly to just experiment with it, as well as in the near future, I am thinking about looking into editing, well, not editing, but for musicians, as well as other clients of mine, I want to start introducing live streaming, especially with the times that we are currently in, and just good little practice, really. So I've got OBS here, and as you can see, besides myself on the camera, I've actually got Adobe Photoshop something, Photoshop 2020. So I'm just going to be continuing with a uh, just a photo I was working on yesterday. So I'm going to go down here where it shows recent, and I'm going to click onto that one. I'm also going to check on comments. Am I even live? Hold up. There we go. Now I'm live. Waiting for it to connect live. Because I forgot to mention that. Okay, yep. So now I should be live now. So just as I was mentioning earlier, um, so I'm doing this live stream through OBS, and in this video, I'm actually just, well, in this live stream, I'm just doing a little bit of a Photoshop tutorial, but mostly more of an experiment with live streaming, as I'm hoping in the near future I will start introducing live streaming uh, to my musician clients, or even just any other clients who need somebody who knows how to live stream, especially through a external camera and a proper studio. Um, you might just see at the just on the corner here, I've got my external audio recorder, which is the Zoom H1N. And just on my left here is a ring-filled light. Don't know why I'm keeping my arms really close like that, so I'm just going to give that a good shake. Here we go. Now, yeah, so this is a photo. This is just a photo I was editing yesterday. So I'll just continue back to what I have done to so far create this image is, so just onto layers here. So this is the original layer is, if it comes up, it wants to show. So and this is just one of my friends from from Freeman's dining in Littleton back when Freeman's was in Littleton. So we actually just did a trip up to Castle Hill back in 2017. And then what I've got right here is a screenshot that I took when I was living with Joel and Sean, and I was introduced to the Nintendo Switch with the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. So I took quite a few good screenshots and video clips when I was using the Nintendo Switch, and honestly, I'll be more than happy to go back and pick up a Nintendo Switch just to continue with that game. But yeah, so what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to be making it feel more like a virtual image. So I've got obviously you have the health bars, and then you have the control panel. And like for those who know a bit about the game, like you got all the little character sort of divine beast or whatever it was called up there, your map and stuff. So I'm going to start. So I'm going to try and move these down here, and I'll show you guys how I'm going to be doing that and what I've been doing thus far. So that's the main background, and then just at the then what I've done is I've gone over here to create a new layer, and I'll just show you as an example. And then after I've created a new layer, I go onto File, which it won't show the options in File, unfortunately, but in File there is a section called Place Embedded, and then it will send me to just my standard file library from whether it's going to be on my documents or pictures or videos, or even on my hard drive, which is where most of my content is stored away in. Just going to check if I got any comments so far. Oh, yeah. So got a comment from Sam Kelly. Yeah, so what I'm doing, Sam, is just experimenting on the just live stream here, and I'm just creating just merging two photos together. One is being a screenshot of Breath of the Wild onto an actual photo that I took back in 2017 with my friend Alex. Where was I? So yeah, so in terms of the placing the embedded image, I'll just as a, just as an example, I'm going to go on to just my files and then go on to Nintendo Switch. And what I'm going to do is I might actually make a copy of that image. And there we are. And then it's going to come out in a moment. So just let it load up. There we go. So that's the original image. And now it looks like there's two of them. So that's generally how I would do it. And then once I'm happy with where I want character to be, I can just leave that. So I'll move on to little icon up here, like so. No, sorry. Little hand gesture right there. There we are. And over here, I'll introduce, oh, wrong one, sorry. So I'll just remove that. There we go. So we have a fresh layer here. And what this layer would allow me to do is I can actually start erasing all the contents right here. And just like so. So I'm gonna expand on the eraser a bit too much. That'll do just fine. And I could start erasing whatever I don't want, which is very, very useful. Just check on the comments. Have I got any new comments? Nope. Nothing thus far. Okay. So yeah, so that's basically what I've been doing for the photo editing live stream yesterday. I've just been erasing all of that, erasing everything I don't want, and then actually just using the images I want, which in this case is going to be the health bar, little icons up here, the map, and some of the little icons up down here, as well as the main character, to try and create basically like a virtual reality, not virtual reality, but a dual screen cover Photoshop thing. Yeah, so Now, I might actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to straight up just remove that one there because I've got this one here at the moment. So I want to try and so what I'm going to do is I'll get back to that previous one. Or could I? Can I actually hide that? Yeah, there we go. I'll just hide it then instead. And I'll get back to that one later and instead just focus on removing that one there as well as that one there. And I'm just going to be focusing on the main character right here. And then I'll do the same thing, but this time it'll just be with those two up here. Is there any questions so far? No? No questions at the moment? So good. All right, I'll carry on. So, how's everyone doing in their bubble? Or not so much bubble, but more, how's everyone going with being in level 3 now? Has anyone started going to McDonald's or KFC at the moment, or they just can't be bothered with the massive queues? Speaking of food, I might got my sandwich here as well. Check questions. Oh yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Checked on both my PC and my phone, but the live video is very unresponsive. Don't really know. Don't really get to see what you're doing. Just yeah. I'm not too sure what it's doing though, Jack. Like I said, I'm just experimenting here at the moment. It may just be the Wi-Fi, like internet connection, maybe, but hopefully that's what it is because well, I'm not a, I'm not a full expert when it comes to using live stream. I'm just, as I've said, just experimenting at this stage. Um, just to really show the amount of detail I like to put into these um, is try and get rid of much of the blue background on the sides here, which sometimes isn't, it's not always easy because when you start moving closer in, that's when you'll start noticing a bit more of the yellows or greens, reds kind of come in. So they start colliding. So you don't want to make it look too fake or make it look too cheap. So this is why I usually zoom in, just so I can carefully look into the small patches just to get more detail in the trimming. Any more questions? Just curious. I was happy with level 4, but getting a coffee again is pretty decent. Oh yeah, definitely. I haven't yeah, Jack, I haven't gone out to grab a coffee yet. I actually live right next to the Red Veranda cafe and they open till 2 o'clock. So if I wanted to, I could actually go and grab a coffee over there, or at some stage, I may even try and stop by at the Birdwood at some stage. Hmm. Speaking of coffee, don't want to make this cold. I'm just going to zoom out a little bit just so I can see what I'm doing as well, because it does take a while to. Well, no, it doesn't take a while. It's just since I don't have any other ports to use a mouse at the moment, because my computer only has two USB ports and one USB-C port. Yeah, that's all it has. So I'm basically using the little mouse pad here, which is a mix of uncomfortable and very awkward to just for my hands because my wrists are just resting on the edge of the table or edge of the desk. Any questions? Huh? Also, a good question for you guys who are actually viewing the live stream. How's the audio? Because I've got so what I've done with my audio device here, I've got it both plugged through USB, but I've also attached it onto the headphone port because well, I'm not 100% sure whether it reads through the USB or if it's actually going to be reading through the actual headphone um, mic kind of port. So I've just added those two in, so I can't really hear my audio. I could listen to it through live stream, but then it'll just get picked up, and then you're going to be hearing repeats of whatever I say. That's part gets awkward as well. What I mean by awkward is because of the color of the rocky colors of the game almost match with the actual colors of the errors, which are that's what those are supposed to be errors, and the background as well. So it's very hard to pick up which what's what. So you can just see the some of the grays, but I don't. Oh, okay. Wait, I see. Yep, that's the feather part of the. That's the feather part of the arrow. So those must be like the little tip, kind of, the rear tip ends of arrows. Or I'm no archer, so I don't know what the actual term would be called or part of it. So if you're into archery anyway, let me know what different parts of the arrow is because archery is a really cool activity. Mm, just gonna check up on questions. Any more? Oh, hold up. Oh, we got a few questions here. So, Jack. Can always come by and catch up with a coffee at Spooky Booty as long as we got some distance. Oh yeah, definitely. I'll definitely be keen to go back. Like, just stop by at Spooky Boogie again. That's very good cafe. I think I told you, Jack. Nick. So Nick, the head, well, owner of the Birdwood and Freeman's when it was in Littleton, he actually introduced me to the cafe back in 2017, and I didn't even know there was a cafe right there. And when I was living in Littleton, that used to be my go-to cafe back then. So yeah, it's a really good, really good cafe though. I'm hoping the what's that? Oscar and other staff there are doing okay as well because these are crazy times. Hmm. I've also been looking into just for my camera, which is actually right next to me, my EM5 Mark II from Olympus. I'm actually thinking I might try and look into a Elgato Camlink, like Camlink connector of some kind. So that way I could start using my Olympus camera to make some better videos just for in camera. Plus, it'll be good for the musicians who want to do some live streaming music and stuff. So, and just going back into checking questions. It's all good. I have to say we're very fortunate that we've now just started to reintroduce some work industries back into the economy. It's very good that we're slowly coming back from lockdown. Just hopefully in 2 weeks' time, we'll be able to start moving down to level two, hopefully. Because I know with the media and stuff like that, they're definitely making statements such as no way businesses will be able to survive another 2 months without customers and stuff. So it's very crazy times. Just keeps cutting out with the video. Yeah, yeah. I wouldn't be too surprised if it does. Actually, hold up. Just want to check. Just gonna check the battery on my audio. Perfect sounds. Yep, that's good. Okay, so sorry for the little shit audio, really bad kind of audio sound if you heard that. Just wanted to check if the audio is using the built-in batteries or if I'm using or if it's just relying on the PC, like just relying on the PC. So more than certain that it's going to be just more the PC rather than on the batteries itself, which, yeah, especially since it uses AAA's. Hmm. So what else have just to make a nice good conversation, because that's another good thing about these live streams is being able to answer some of your questions, or if or even just checking out you guys are doing as well, because these are very, very crazy times, and socializing in public is quite hard now, since everyone's just worried about spreading the virus. So yeah, just how's everyone doing in their little bubble anyway? Just done any projects, or because I know with you, Jack, you're working on some music, but for anyone else who's viewing anyway, just yeah, just you guys, any of you guys been very productive, or find something, found something that's catching your interest? So just been checking on questions. So far, it looks like I'm still on 24, 25 minutes now on the live stream. Okay, so sheesh, jeez, man. Very surprising how fast the live stream goes as well. So very surprising. It's also interesting finding out that some people actually make a living live streaming content, because, well, I know most people online tend to live stream video games and stuff like that, so their commentaries are much easier to work with, usually because most of their commentaries are going to be reactions rather than just standard chats. Checking any more questions. Uh, no questions so far. Hmm. I already feel a little bit of cramping on my hands. Hmm. Oh no.